Dear seeker, have you ever paused to wonder, are the five senses you use every day the full measure of human experience? Sight, sound, smell, taste, and touch guide you through the world, but do they reveal the essence of truth? Or are they only the surface of a much deeper ocean? Babaji once told his disciples, the five senses are but windows, small and clouded. Beyond them are vast gateways to the eternal. Learn to open them, and life will no longer be bound to illusion. Today, let us journey together through this hidden wisdom, the awakening of your 15 inner senses. These senses, when awakened, do not take you away from the world but allow you to see the world as it truly is. Walk with me step by step, and may Babaji's grace open your heart to this ancient knowledge. The five senses are precious instruments, dear seeker. With them, you navigate the outer world, experience pleasure, avoid danger, and communicate with others. Yet, Babaji always reminds us, what the eyes see is only form, not truth. What the ears hear is only sound, not silence. What the tongue tastes is but a shadow of divine sweetness. Imagine a man who has lived his whole life in a single room. The room has windows, and through them he sees sunlight and trees swaying. He begins to believe this is all there is. But what if the door to the mansion is opened? Suddenly, endless rooms, gardens, and skies reveal themselves. The five senses are like those small windows. They give us glimpses, but not the fullness of life. Relying only on the five senses, we become trapped in duality, pleasure and pain, gain and loss, birth and death. They show us appearances but not the essence. The senses serve the body, but the higher senses serve the soul. Babaji teaches, when you are ruled only by five, you remain bound to Maya. But when the 15 awaken, you begin to live in the kingdom of truth. Most human beings walk through life using only five senses. Yet, hidden within, 10 more subtle faculties lie dormant, waiting to be awakened. Babaji reveals that man is not a creature of five senses but of 15. The outer five serve survival, the inner 10 serve awakening. These higher senses are not science fiction or imagination, they are divine instruments that saints and yogis have always known. They include intuition, the instant knowing of truth without thought. Divya Drishti, divine sight, perceiving subtle realities beyond form. Nada Shravan, inner hearing of the cosmic sound current. Pranic sensitivity, feeling the flow of life force in yourself and others. Telepathic perception, communion of mind beyond words. Soul memory, remembrance of past lives and karmic patterns. Heart empathy, knowing another's pain and joy as your own. Subtle smell and taste, perceiving purity or impurity in vibration. Samadhi sense, the ultimate, perceiving oneness with all. Babaji says, the 10 are hidden in the 5, like fragrance hidden in the flower. They are not apart from you, they are your deeper nature. When a seeker begins to walk the inner path, these senses stir like seeds after rain. Slowly, one by one, they blossom. Then life expands, and you no longer live in a fragment, you live in the whole. Many seekers think the higher senses are separate from the ordinary 5. Babaji explains this is not so. The inner senses are not replacements but refinements. They are the higher octave of the lower. When the ear becomes purified, it no longer hears only noise and speech, it begins to hear the nada, the eternal sound that hums in all creation. When the eye is disciplined, it sees not only form but the divine light that shines within all beings. When the skin is sensitized, touch becomes the perception of energy, of prana flowing through every living thing. When the tongue is refined, taste is no longer limited to flavors, it becomes the sweetness of truth, the nectar of the inner bliss. When the nose awakens, smell becomes subtle, sensing purity or negativity in vibrations beyond the physical. Babaji teaches, your 5 are the seeds. Their flowering is the 10. Together, they form the tree of 15, rooted in the soul. This bridge shows us that we do not reject the physical, we purify it. The outer becomes the doorway to the inner. A seeker who eats mindfully, listens with silence, looks with clarity, touches with reverence, such a seeker naturally finds that the inner senses awaken. The body is not an obstacle but a temple. Through it, the soul's deeper faculties are revealed. How then, dear seeker, can these hidden senses be awakened? Babaji gives very simple, yet powerful, guidance. Practice silence. In silence, the noise of the outer ear fades, and the inner hearing emerges. Words scatter energy, but silence gathers it. Meditate on light. Focus on the spiritual eye, the Kutastha Chaitanya between the eyebrows. Over time, the divine sight awakens, and you begin to perceive beyond form. Breathe consciously. Breath is the bridge of life. In Kriya and Pranic awareness, the skin, the touch, and even the heart awaken to subtle vibrations. Live in purity. The senses mirror your inner state. Pure food, pure thought, and pure action cleanse the lens, allowing the higher senses to shine. Babaji assures his disciples, do not be impatient. Even 1 hour of sincere meditation daily is enough to plant the seed. Water it with love, and in time, it shall bloom. These practices do not give you something new, they uncover what is already yours. Every seeker has within them these 15 senses, like jewels hidden beneath dust. Practice wipes away the dust, and the soul's radiance appears. You may ask, why should one strive for this awakening? The answer, dear seeker, is liberation from suffering. When the higher senses are asleep, life appears random, cruel, and uncertain. You see only outer events, not the hidden causes. You hear only noise, not the divine guidance within. This leads to fear, confusion, and bondage to karma. But when the higher senses awaken, your vision changes. Fear dissolves, because nothing is hidden from you. Pain becomes lighter, because you perceive its purpose. Death itself loses its sting, because you experience continuity of the soul. Babaji explains, awakening is not for pride, not for powers, but for freedom. When the 15 senses are active, the soul lives in awareness, not ignorance. Awareness is liberation. This awakening brings compassion, for you feel others' joys and sorrows as your own. It brings peace, for you no longer chase shadows. It brings devotion, for you perceive God in every atom. Thus, awakening matters because it transforms life from survival to sacredness, from illusion to truth. Dear seeker, imagine living with all 15 senses awakened. The world would not vanish, but its meaning would deepen infinitely. A bird's song would carry the vibration of eternity. A flower's fragrance would whisper divine presence. A stranger's glance would reveal soul memory and connection. Every breath would unite you with the infinite. Babaji teaches, the awakened one lives in 2 worlds at once. His feet walk the earth, but his soul rests in eternity. This is life beyond the 5 senses, not escape, but expansion. You do not abandon the world, you see it through the eyes of God. You no longer live in fragments, but in wholeness. You become free, compassionate, fearless, and blissful. Such is the destiny of every soul, to move from 5 to 15, from outer illusion to inner reality. Dear seeker, this wisdom is not just for saints, it is for you. The 15 senses are already within you, waiting to awaken. Walk the path with patience, sincerity, and devotion. If these words of Babaji have touched your heart, share your reflection in the comments. You may simply type Jai Gurudev as your offering of love and remembrance. And tell us, what teaching would you like Babaji's guidance on in the next video? Until then, may your senses awaken, may your heart expand, and may your soul remember its eternal nature. Jai Gurudev.